Hoovers, Chris Rushes, all these things, the family, the trust, the legal teams, whatever, were not informed that their artwork and proprietary this and that was going to be reused, which a lot of people said could not be reused, and I wasn't sure where that stood. I thought some artwork could not be, or could be, or royalties. Now there's legal issues with some of this stuff going on. I don't know. I don't have that kind of information. I don't know if there's anything in writing, if it's a handshake type deal, verbal contract binding state of Florida type deal. I don't know. But it just shows the complexities of this stuff. And I want people to understand, Wizards is not your friend. Wizards is not out here to build your community. Wizards does not care about your game piece being cheap. And I hope at this moment in time, all of that is put to rest. Because there's no way to discuss it any further. Based on this new move on the chessboard, they are lining up the pieces for a premium mega era of Magic, of future products. This is not the 30th anniversary celebration. This is the new textbook, the new chapter of Magic celebration. And unless this thing completely fails, and doesn't sell, and Wizards deems it a failure, they're going to go balls deep, all in, and this is the beginning. And I've told your opinion, my opinion, no matter how you feel about it, no matter how much I'm kind of like, this is going to be very successful. And it's going to get tremendous views on social media. Pack cracking, box opening, and this and that. I predict Wizards prints 50 to 100,000 of these. I predict Wizards saves 5 to 10,000 of these in the Wizards Vault. Lost Warehouse. For future specialty drafts of special Magic events, Vegas, anniversaries, 40th anniversary. I genuinely don't believe Wizards has a lot of old products left in Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities, the Dark, Alpha, Beta, Unlimited. I don't think they do. I think one of the components of this design was to make it expensive and special so they could also use it for future beta-style drafts and events at special occasions in Magic's future. Almost replenishing that kind of concept. I do think the cards are going to be expensive. I do think the cards are going to be sought after. The product may not be for me. Because, again, I'm going to stick with my collection buying and going after the originals because that's what's important and that's the real deal. I mean, essentially, yes, folks. I mean, yeah, Rudy, are you going to say it? Are you going to say it? I mean, essentially, yeah. These are proxies. They're not tournament legal cards. The back of the card is not a Magic the Gathering card back. Okay? Cards of the beta set have been removed. The artwork, things have been tweaked. The framing is not identical. The text, the words, the letters in the text box are not the same letters. They're not in the same order. They're not positioned in the same spot on the card. The coloring of dual lands, of the striped boxes and things aren't there. The mana symbols, the tap symbols, which didn't exist back then, are not there. So again, most people are angry with the price. There's nothing to say. It's a cash grab money thing. Of course it is. Wizards isn't trying to hide it and tell you it isn't. Why are you... No! Wizards, this is a cash grab. I got you. And Wizards is saying, congratulations, it is a cash grab. We own the rights to one of the best card games... We own the rights to the best card game in CCG history. Nothing will ever beat it. And you know what? I believe them! And guess what? Because of that, you want a piece of our history and our IP, and we're going to print it, it's an actual Wizards of the Coast product, you're going to fucking pay. If you don't, AliExpress, $5, go for it. They don't care. They understand. I gotta admit though, if I was AliExpress, this would be the not condoning breaking the law here, but these guys who make fake Magic cards, it's gonna be really hard to tell the difference between a newly printed fake Black Lotus and a Chinese knockoff counterfeit Black Lotus. If they all are printed on new, thinner, shiny, smells different, flexible, curvy cardstock compared to the almost impossible ability to reprint the original cardstock material used from 30 years ago. These things are going to be very hot targets for counterfeiting and kind of, well, knocking off and flipping. And yeah, folks, there's gonna be people who open these things and they get, I don't know, unlocks Ruby, and maybe they get a retro frame Black Lotus, and they bought one pack and they made $10,000 profit. I don't know. I don't know what these things are gonna be valued at. The market's gonna decide the value. That's really what it comes down to. And yes, folks, there's gonna be people out there who save their money, buy one pack of this, maybe at an LGS, or order one box of 4 packs. They're gonna open it, get a thought lace, a chaos lace, a blessing, and they're gonna lose a lot of money. I mean, yeah. But again, at the end of the day, I just think that I am very interested to see what the next 5 years are now going to bring, because they removed the line in the sand. They didn't move the line in the sand. They crossed it out and just said, fuck it, there's no line. And you know, I got to go back to the concept of it. It always amazes me when I see these official Wizard streams or videos or approved and sponsored channels by Wizards of the Coast, and they talk about all these. They always use the word community in your play group and your local community, and supports your LGS and all this stuff, and I always get this little evil grin and snicker on my face, because it's just it makes me step back, and I pause those videos sometimes and I go, I can't tell if Wizards is just one of the most intelligent companies in the history of companies, and they are literally printing money, or B, there really are that many sensitive, weak-minded, gullible people in the Magic the Gathering world that truly think and believe this community Wizards concept. I can't tell. Or is it blended somewhere in the middle? I can't tell. I really have a hard time telling. I really have a hard time telling how some people are so, I don't know, they almost, sometimes I almost feel like people think Wizards of the Coast and like Magic cards are like their friend, because they're so connected. It means so much to them. I mean, when I was younger, I get it. There's moments in life, especially when I was young, that maybe you're more of a loner, going through some tough periods. You're by yourself, isolated, lonely, whatever it is. We've all been there. And you know, you have your cards, and it helps you get through some tough times. And we've all had those moments in life. And I get where that connection and that image, the artwork and the cards can be etched in your brain, and you develop that nostalgic connection. It reminds you of different times. I get that. I don't think people understand. And I don't think a lot of the employees at Wizards and these content creators who are sponsored and approved, and these big smiles and announcing products, and they're all about this, and I can't tell if a lot of them is like the showmanship, they're just good actors and actresses, or they really do drink the Kool-Aid and believe Wizards have their best interests. I can't tell. Or maybe some in both categories, you know? I don't think this means anything for the reserve list. I don't think this means anything long-term for Collector's Edition, the original. I actually have a little bit of a counterpoint of, like I said earlier, while everybody's getting triggered and going crazy, we now know officially that Wizards wants old cards to be expensive and to stay expensive. Even if or when the day comes, they make some secret lair, non-tournament legal, whatever, it's going to be priced in a way where there's no impact on anything. And this was engineered, and a lot of thought was put into this pricing, and a lot of calculations, a lot of testing was put into this product. And the way it's unfolding is exactly what they expected, I think. I think Wizards expected all this. I do. I think Wizards expected the non-capitalism Wall Street's normal, hardworking, normal people to be completely angry, and the subset of the Magic community, use that loosely, who are about game pieces and sheep and this and that, would just lose their minds. I think they expected this. And I don't think people are giving Wizards enough credit in people thinking that Wizards didn't expect this. And I don't buy into that. I think the way it's unfolding is the way it's supposed to unfold. And the way things are happening is exactly what Wizards expected. And I believe Wizards operates in a similar mindset that I have, which is no matter the hate, the anger, or whatever comes at you, they are going to make the next decision based on this decision, which this decision is going to be based on data. And that data is going to show this thing's going to sell out and become one of the most profitable items in the history of Wizards of the Coast. If not the most profitable item ever made in Magic history. And when they sit around that boardroom, and the higher-ups that control your emotions, and they see that data come in, they're going to lose their mind and say, what's next? And I think they're waiting to see what happens with this, just for confirmation, before they move forward with what's planned next. And I do adamantly believe at this point in time that there will be gold bordered, white bordered, all reprints of all Magic cards in history at this point. I do not believe the reserve list will be abolished. I believe they will make them in a way where they're not tournament legal, or they won't have a... They're going to make it in a way where it remains a gray area. It remains a, well, it could be either way. That's an intentional design by their legal team. And I think it's smart. So overall, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that surprised by it as a lot of other people. The high price point just reinforced what I've been saying all along, is that you don't matter. I don't matter. This product's not for you. And Wizards doesn't really care. They're just kind of saying, fuck you. And I think the biggest issue with it is a lot of people are in a state of shock because they didn't think Wizards truly felt this way. And I think the summary of this video comes down to people are just in such a deer in headlights shocked moment now that they've learned that Wizards really doesn't care about you. And everybody thought Wizards kind of did. Well, not everybody. A lot of weaker-minded people really was in the impression Wizards wouldn't price, or wouldn't behave in a certain way. And now they've made a certain move on the chessboard. Everybody has stood back and said, okay, now we know where you stand. And because of that, there will be more. And it will be priced higher. I don't see why, like, why wouldn't they? Like, you I'll give you guys this one. There was something I had joked about a long time ago to, it's the end of the video, no one's watching. I had hung out with this Wizards employee one time. I'm not going to give any names. He or she was very nice. And I had a drink and yip-yapped for about an hour or two. And he or she said to me, I've been at Wizards a long time. Definitely higher up, knew quite a bit. This is many years ago. And he or she said to me, Rudy, what would be a crazy thing you would do? What would you print to make insane money for Hasbro? And you know what my response was? My response was I'd reprint Arabian Nights. And he or she looked at me and says, what do you mean? I said, well, not many people know this, but Arabian Nights was originally supposed to have a different back. A purple Magic the Gathering card back. And I told this individual I would reprint collector's edition sets of Arabian Nights with the original Magic the Gathering purple backs. If you don't believe me, Google Arabian Nights purple Magic the Gathering card back. And it was scrapped last minute so that all Magic cards would have the same back and they'd be consistent. I said I'd reprint that product. Sell it as a collector's edition, non-tournament legal, and not a real card. And I think I said something like, this was years ago. I think it was 2017, 2018. And I think I said something like, I'd sell them for $1,000 a piece. And, when all this news hit me, I remembered that. And I said, man, I hope I didn't have an impact on that particular moment in time, because it's kind of creepy. Because now I'm sitting here thinking, the logical next step would be within the next 10 years, on the next anniversary special event, would be to do the same thing they're doing now, but with Arabian Nights. Because that's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because if you can make $50 million by printing non-tournament legal cards that everyone's going to lose their mind on, why would it not happen? I remember that. And now I'm kind of regretting certain conversations I've had with certain people. And sometimes I do wonder that, and I don't want to come off in a way where, I've done things or I work for Wizards and all this stuff, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories and things over the years about me, this YouTube channel, and Wizards of the Coast, and my connections and people I've talked with and all the years. Some of it is a little creepy. There's been some things that we've talked about on this channel many years ago. Serialized cards from the Vault products, core sets being scrapped and then being brought back. The Eternal Masters products. There's so many things we have talked about that have been suspiciously true. There are groups of people who literally track the Rudy Wizards Plant YouTube channel, all kinds of stuff, but I don't know. I don't believe I'm that special. I believe I'm just a regular dude in Florida who bet his life on cardboard, and it just happened to work out in a very surreal, unbelievable favor. And that's really all that happened. That's the short end of my boring life story that turned out to be something wild. But at the same time, there's a lot of other people that believe the amount of Wizards people and employees who watch this channel, there are topics that are brought up that are discussed in company meetings that actually lead to influence. And while I like to believe that's kind of silly, I have talked to Wizards employees before who have told me that there are things that have been brought up in these videos in actual meetings, whether it's positive or negative, that have been discussed. So I know it is a real thing, but I still have a hard time believing I'm that important. I just don't buy into that. I've never had a single message from them directly, officially. I don't get invited and brought to all these events and everything. At this point in time, like I said, even when I retire in the future and years from now, I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to Magic events or doing it. I just don't know. I haven't really taken vacations or done anything in the last 7 to 10 years of my life. And, I know I can't live that way forever. And I know my days on YouTube, I probably only have a couple years left type thing. I know. That's what I'm assuming. But we don't know. Maybe the economy, everything goes to hell, maybe everything goes to zero, and I can't, and I'm broke again. I don't know what's going to happen. But I just want people to understand some things. And I hope this moment in time that's united the community of for the reserve list, I hate the reserve list, money, 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 rawr, 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 pick a side, hate the other side. I hope everyone in this moment of time can come to conclusion on the basic principles of Wizards and the term community is not here for you. And I hope we have finally put that to rest. And I also hope people understand from this moment of reprinting proxies, reselling a collector's edition, whatever. I hope people are also going to understand that there is no downside to this for vintage collectors and investors. These moves are taking the old items and going to put record numbers of new peoples and new eyeballs and new humans and new videos and new eyes on these items. It's going to increase the discovery rate in the view and awareness of these old rare items. It is not going to crash things. It is not, and again, we've talked about this on this channel many times. I've joked on it. I've told you guys. I told you guys over and over. If Arabian Nights was reprinted and it collapsed 99% in value, and a full set of Arabian Nights went from, $10,000 down to $500. I literally told you all, I would say fuck it, and I would buy the entire market out completely. Whatever there is, if I would be willing to put everything into it. I wouldn't care. I would come in, like literally the roulette table, after everyone's placed their bets, it lands on 00, and nobody put chips on 00, and the swoop comes in and takes every chip. If prices decline that, I would just take it all. I would literally just pull out money, and I would take over the whole market. And my attitude like that is the same as many other people. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I mean, the number one reason people don't like the reserve list is because it makes them so difficult and so expensive, because the people who don't have them physically can't get them. And those people want them. The anger is that people who want them, because they're reserve list, can't afford them. No one's saying they don't want the cards. They're just upset on the price of the cards. So we're gonna wrap this video up here. How is this camera still going? Jesus, 50 minutes? I'm sorry, everybody. Whoa, okay. It's like, holy smokes, I didn't realize this is a 50-minute video, folks. Sorry, my God. But in conclusion, folks, a couple interesting things to know. This is the dawn of a new era. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a shock factor. I think it's like someone's walked up to you and shaken you. And Wizards has told you, fuck you, this is our future. And it's going to be expensive, you're either in or out. And guess what? Most people on social media are going to play the cool card. They're going to say, they're out, it's overpriced. This shit's going to sell out. It's going to be very successful. And you won't see nothing yet. It has the potential to bring on the dawn of a new era of mega premium high-end cards. And I assure you all, there will be more non-tournament legal products. There will be reprints of Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities. There will be reprints of old sets, Cold Snaps, Alara, Zendikar. There's very good chances they just reprint complete other sets. There will be other high-end things, artist sketches, actual signed cards, actual sketch cards. It's coming. They are going to continue to raise the bar. And we are going to be... Magic is going to lead the way in the CCG world. Kind of how sports cards win the premium, signed cards. Sports cards have signed cards, jersey inserts, and different autographs. They have books that open. They put a cleat of the shoe in the cards. There's, they do all that crazy stuff. And Magic is going to lead the way for the CCG world to do that. And sure, there's turbulence. Bear market's bad things. But I'm telling you all, this is going to be a net growth into the future. And the future of paper Magic is expensive. Wizards have made that clear. And they've made it clear that if you can't pay up, sorry. And I hope out of everything, the conclusion of this video and the conclusion for everyone is understanding Wizards is not your friend. They are using the umbrella and the shell term of communities and friends, and they are using these soft, passive words to make you feel you're part of an entity or something. This is a billion-dollar machine. This is a Wall Street brand firm. This is a company that's publicly traded. Their goal is to keep the growth going. And let me tell you, what I see in my point of view, hell or high water, they're going to do it. And your opinion and your feelings, I keep like a bug on the your feelings towards this stuff don't matter. Everyone's telling me, Rudy, have you seen Reddit and Facebook blowing up and attacking it all and this and that? I said, okay. So what, 5, 10, 20,000 people are angry? If the Magic community, according to Wizards, is 10 to 20 million people, so what? 1/100th of 1% is upset? Where's the other 99.9%? I just... Social media makes us weird. And it makes us come to conclusions that may not be accurate. Because the problem is, social media provides you interests and recommendations and links to things that they feel that you will align with and agree with, but may not be representing what's going on around you. And Reddit and Facebook is a great example of people seeing things or reading things thinking, oh, Rudy, have you heard? Everybody's angry. Everyone's united about Wizards and the price. I said, well, okay. Coming from an individual who's literally had patrons sign up and say, Rudy, hey man, I'm one of the people that always bash you online because I was, that's kind of what I do. It's kind of the cool thing to do, and I've been doing that for years online. But I watch all your videos and I like it. I mean, I have had hundreds of people tell me that over the years, and I'm like, you don't find it a little weird that you say that, like you don't believe that? I said, well, I don't, it's social media. If I say anything different, I'll lose my Reddit account, or I'll get suspended on my private Facebook group. I said, okay. So, I think people need to strip the emotion out and just look at this as a situation of Wizards has made a tiny box for $1,000. We're all pretty upset and triggered. It's going to sell out, and Wizards is going to go, can I help you? And that's what I believe is going to happen. And everyone online is going to say, nobody buy it! Everyone's going to say that. That's going to be the cool thing to do. And that's going to be the narrative online. And the sale's going to launch. It's going to sell out. And the narrative's not going to match the financial data. And I think this leads to more growth of vintage cards and more success long term. Because, I mean, let me ask you guys one last thing. Or let me paint you a picture. And then we're going to call it quits here. It's an hour video. Can you imagine? Imagine this. Imagine I fly out to Las Vegas. Bring a big entourage. And say we get some of these things and I film it. Get a huge crowd around. Get everybody wound up. And we crack these things on camera. High roller, crazy $1,000 things. Let's say the packs at the time haven't gone up or down. Let's say the same $1,000 or $1,100 with packs. Do you realize how exciting and dramatic in the crowd and the views if I filmed that and did a video or did something like that? That's my point. That's my point. And it is what it is, folks. I think people are just so triggered by something that I think everyone's having a hard time accepting where things are headed and how much things are costing. And I don't know, people maybe want to push back, or you kind of want to say, well, if we all don't buy it and we all this and that, we'll send a message to Wizards. And go back to what I told you guys a few minutes ago. I consider this channel pretty high up there in the world of Magic and the amount of reach it gets in the world of Magic. And I can assure you that no matter what you're hearing and seeing people, the keyboard warriors saying, Wizards is going to label this as a monster success. And I don't see anybody who buys these things for $1,100 a piece. They're not going to put them on eBay for $500 a piece. They're going to be on eBay for probably double or triple. And if it sells out instantly and they're oversold, God help you. And it is what it is. I don't think it's really that. I think people are making a bigger deal than what it needs to be. And I think people are talking about hot trash and who's this for, and I don't think Wizards has a target for this. I think they're just throwing it out there to see who comes and takes it and who is the target. And that's all there is to this, folks. We have art cards. Brothers War, we have official serialized cards. We have lottery cards. We have 20 different frames, variants, artwork, and showcase, and extended art, borderless art. People can't even keep track anymore. How many foils are there? We got regular foil, rainbow foil, textured foil, etched foil. What do we got now? The showcase foil? No. What's the new one? Stained glass? No. Like the shiny. Textured. Cosmic foil from there's I don't even know. I see the listings online. Like, I don't even know. And but I think I'm done talking. I think sealed product will still do its thing, and I think the old cards are still not going to be impacted. And I still don't understand who's going to buy 10 packs, or I'm sorry, 10 boxes, 10,000 or 11,000. Yeah, 10 boxes with tax would be $11,000. Who's going to spend $11,000 on 10 little squares when you can literally just buy Beta Power or buy a full set of Revive, dual lands, and baby? It's very strange, It's very strange. I don't know how they're going to be priced. Are these going to be half the price of Collector's Edition? Does Collector's Edition have to go down to match these? Does Collector's Edition have to be double the price compared to this? Like, nobody really knows. Nobody knows. So, I think I touched on most of everything. That's all I have to say. I don't know, kind of a letdown, not really that dramatic. Don't really have a hot take, but I thought it was important to have a full discussion of what all this means, where it's headed, and I think it really opens Pandora's box for the future. Hope you all have a beautiful day. We will end this video. Here's a look at my penis. Folks, welcome back. My name is Rudy. You're watching I try to discuss real topics that make people unhappy in the infamous Rudy Whiteboard monthly video. Today's topic is going to be a little interesting. The topic is going to be why. People ask me, Rudy, comment something about real estate. Why is that happening? Okay. Rudy, comment something about old Magic cards. Why is that happening? Rudy, comment something about this new, all these new hot startup games, these Flesh and Bloods and MetaZoos. Why is it, what's with this phenomenon? You know, and so that's really going to be the concept of this video today, everybody, is to really go over some of the more specifics on why I believe some of these events and price movements and things are occurring in mid-2021. This is the beginning of August 2021. Hopefully you see this video somewhere around mid-August 2021. So first we're going to start off with the simplest topic, which is real estate. So now that we're going to get into it, I am going to act like a professional. So I am going to put on the world famous Rudy pink visor, so you know it's a serious video, and we're not going to be doing giggities and talking about stepmoms and people getting stuck in dryers and couches or in windows. This is going to be a real video. You're not supposed to smile. You're not supposed to enjoy this. So as always, if you want real financial advice, actually seek someone who's got like those licenses and the government thinks is real and doesn't live in their parents' basement. Because again, I'm an entertainer. Spend all my money on the visor. So we're going to talk about real estate first. Rudy, what do you think the long-term implications are of investors in Wall Street starting to buy out all these houses all over the United States? Why is this happening? What do you think this is going to lead to? And what are your concerns? I said, okay. Well, that's a great why question. So, first, let's talk about the obvious. All these regular little houses all over the United States, that's what a house looks like. There's me. There's my hat. And if you haven't noticed, real estate market's going crazy. Mostly, a lot of the influence is due to institutional money coming from large corporations, all these invitation homes, BlackRock, and they're putting billions of dollars buying out real estate all over the United States, specifically in locations like Colorado, Florida, Texas. Not as much in places like California, New York, New Jersey, but more of the more tax-friendly, business-friendly locations around the U.S., and they are going very, very aggressively. Why is this happening, and what does this mean for regular families? So this is going to be a pretty nasty thing a lot of people may not realize. So you need to get this. This institutional money doesn't have much of a budget. They don't care about... Okay, let's just go into it, shall we? Let's just take a real example here, okay? Does this marker work? This marker does work. We're gonna do pretty blue to make everybody feel good on the inside. Timmy and his wife, Tammy. 2 T's? Timmy and Tammy want to buy this house right here, okay? Here's the problem. This house is $300,000. Timmy and Tammy have been saving their money and say, Rudy, you know, we got to do 20% down so we don't have to pay PMI on our mortgage, which is mortgage insurance if you default. It's a waste of $100, $200 a month. You always have to do 20% down to avoid that. And of course, there are all these special programs to get around it. So, Timmy and Tammy need to put 20% down to buy this $300K house. That's $60K they have to put down to take out a mortgage of $240K. We're going to just leave closing costs and all the other foo-foo out. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to pretend it's a brand new house, no repairs, everything's brand new. Okay? The actual use, the dirt, the roof is brand new, the AC is brand new, it's a new construction. You have to worry about usable parts, you have to worry about how much life expectancy is left in any of the items, new property. Here's the problem. Timmy and Tammy go to see the house, they love it. They say, you know what, we'll pay you the full $300,000 asking price for this new house, we want it. Okay? All of a sudden, here he comes, the big bad Wall Street man comes over here. I don't know why he's got weird arms, and he's got a triangle hat. Do evil people have triangle hats? I don't know. And he's got a mean face on, and he says, you know what, screw that. We'll take the house for $400K. What? So all of a sudden, he throws 400K at this house that's worth 300K. The appraisal comes back. The bank says, sure, house is worth 300K, so all you need is 20% down. We will give you a mortgage, 80%. 80% loan to, ratio, all that crap, 80-20. So here's the problem, folks, what the public is not seeing. When Wall Street comes in and throws a bid of 400, the appraisal on the property normally still shows 300K. They don't care because they're paying cash. And here's the problem. Timmy and Tammy say, fine, fine, fine. We'll take the house. We'll pay 401K, final offer, and they back away. Evil Wall Street guy backed away. Now here's the problem. The appraisal is most likely still going to be set because it was already performed at 300K. It's going to go to the bank and the underwriters, and that property that's worth 300K is only qualified to have an 80% loan on it. 80% loan means the mortgage, the bank is only going to issue a mortgage for 240K because the bank says it's worth 300K from their independent appraisal. Now that you're paying 401K, the bank doesn't come back and say, our bad. Okay, we're going to give you, you know what, this 240 for the mortgage? No, you offered 401. We're going to give you a mortgage for 320K. No. Doesn't work that way. That's a big fat red X. That's a giant rubber black tire. It just doesn't work that way. That's a funny giggity. Give me a little funny. So here's what's really going to happen. In order for Timmy and Tammy to buy this house, the mortgage is still only going to be 240. So their down payment of 60K is no longer valid. Now, this $400,000 purchase, which the bank will give them 240, the 60K that they saved their life savings to purchase, they now need a down payment of how much, folks? Boom. You ready? Boom. They have to have a down payment of $161,000, which the average person is not going to have. So just because the house price went up 20-something%, their down payment went up 300%. Or 250%. You start to see this here. So here's the problem with this stuff. The Wall Street evil guy with a triangle hat over here, they know that the regular people trying to buy this house with their giant top hat with Timmy and Tammy, they know those people are not going to have 160K. So they know if they overbid, these people, Timmy and Tammy, or regular people like you all watching, cannot compete. They know this. It's skewed. It's not an accident. They know by overbidding, they lock in the new property and they don't give two Fs because these Wall Street people, trust me, have lines of credit, LOCs. These people are going to have, oh my goodness, they're going to have commercial lines of credit, maybe backed by